The Almanack of Naval, Ravikant. Let us start with a few words from our author. I've learned a few things and some principles. I try to lay them out in a timeless manner where you can figure it out for yourself. Because at the end of the day, I cannot quite teach anything. I can only inspire you and maybe give you a few hooks so you can remember. Money versus wealth. Money is not going to solve all of your problems, but it's going to solve all of your money problems. What is money? Money is how we transfer wealth. Money is social credits. It is the ability to have credits and debits of other people's time. What is wealth? Wealth are the business and assets that can earn while you sleep. This may be the factory, the robots cranking out things, your computer program running at night serving other customers, or your money in the bank being reinvested into other assets and into other businesses. Money buys you freedom in the material world. However, it's not going to make you happy. It's not going to solve your health problems. It's not going to make your family great. It's not going to make you fit. It's not even going to make you calm, but it will solve a lot of external problems. Making money is not a thing you do, it is a skill you learn. Despising wealth. If you secretly despise wealth, it will elude you. Being anti wealth will prevent you from becoming wealthy because you will not have the right mindset for it. You won't have the right spirit, and you won't be dealing with the people at the right level. Money is not the root of all evil. There's nothing evil about it, but the lust for money is bad. Lusting for money is bad for us because it is a bottomless pit. It will always occupy your mind. If you love money and you make it, there's never enough. There's never enough because the desire is turned on and it doesn't turn off at some number. Building wealth. You don't get rich by spending your time to save money. Rather, you get rich by saving your time to make money. Everybody who really makes money at some point owns a piece of a product, a business, or some IP. Usually, the real wealth is created by starting your own company or even by investing. Remember, without ownership, your inputs are very closely tied to your outputs. If you don't own a piece of business, you don't have a path towards financial freedom. Work as play. Naval says, I'm always working. It looks like work to others, but it feels like play to me. And that is how I know no one can compete with me on it. If he is just playing for 16 hours a day, others will have a difficult time competing with him because they are going to work and they're going to lose. Why? Because they'll be doing it for 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Time and compounding. All the returns in life, whether in wealth, relationships, or knowledge, come from compound interest. What you want in life is to be in control of your time. You want to get into a leveraged job where you can control your own time and you're being tracked on your outputs. Value your time. It is all you have. It's more important than your money. It's more important than your friends. It is more important than anything. When you find the right thing to do, when you find the right people to work with, invest deeply. Stick with it. Spend time with it. Okay? What you're trying to do is to find the right thing you can go all in to earn compound interest. Make money through small things, piling up, consistently creating wealth. Do not go for one giant payout. Everybody wants to get rich immediately, but the world is an efficient place. Immediate does not work. You have to put in the time. You have to put in the hours. And so I think you have to put yourself in a position with the specific knowledge, with accountability, with leverage, with the authentic skill set you have to be the best in the world at what you do. Beyond games, any end goal will just lead to another goal. We just play games in life. The winners of any game are the people who are so addicted they continue playing even as the margins to win decline. Step out of the game, rise above it. These are the people who have such internal, mental, and self control and self awareness, they need nothing from anybody else. Retirement. Retirement is when you stop sacrificing today for an imaginary tomorrow. When today, in and of itself, is complete. Once you solve your money problems, either by lowering your lifestyle or making enough money, you would want to retire. There are multiple ways to retirement. One way is to have so much money saved that your passive income, without you lifting a finger, covers your burn rate. A second is you just drive your burn rate down to zero. Either you become a monk or live off the grid. Third is by doing something you love. You enjoy it so much, it's not about the money anymore. Principal agent problem. The single most fundamental problem in microeconomics. If you don't understand this, you will not know how to navigate yourself through the world. Julius Caesar once said, if you want it done, then go. If not, then send. What does he mean? If you want it done right, then you have to go yourself and do it. If you are the principal or the owner, then it means you care and you will do a great job. But if you're the agent and you're doing it on somebody's behalf, you can do a bad job. Freedom. Whenever you can in life, optimize for independence rather than pay. If you have independence and you're accountable on your output as opposed to your input, that's the dream. Naval's definition of freedom before was freedom to do anything he wanted, freedom to do whatever he felt like doing, whenever he felt like doing it. But as he grew older and found out, this developed into freedom from reaction, freedom from being feeling angry, freedom from being sad, freedom from being forced to do things. So it's more of being free from internal and external things. People who live far below their means enjoy a freedom that people busy upgrading their lifestyles cannot fathom. Single player game. All the real scorecards are internal. The reality is life is a single player game. You're born alone. You're going to die alone. All of your interpretations are alone. All your memories are alone. You're competing against yourself. Hence, it's a single player game. Priorities and big decisions. I don't have time is just another way of saying it's not a priority. If something is your number one priority, then you will do it. That's just the way life works. If you've got a fuzzy basket of 10 or 15 different priorities, you're going to end up getting none of them. Wealth, health, and happiness. We pursue them in that order, but their importance is actually reverse. Naval says health, love, and your mission. That's in that order. Nothing else should matter. This is a food for thought. When you're young, you have time, you have health, but you have no money. When you're middle aged, you have money and you have health, but you have no time. And when you're old, you have money and you have time, but you have no health. So the goal is to try to get all these three things at once. Choices and actions. If you cannot decide, the answer is no. And the reason is modern society is full of options. There are tons and tons of options. We live in a planet of 7 billion people, and we are connected to everybody on the internet. There are hundreds and thousands of careers available to you. There are so many choices. You should eliminate as many shoulds from your life as possible. Remember, intentions don't matter, actions do. Your motto should be impatience with actions and patience with results. Inspiration is perishable. You should act on it immediately. If, however, you are evenly split on a difficult decision, take the path more painful in the short term. Why? One of these paths require short-term pain, while the other leads to pain in the future. Know yourself. Everyone makes it up as they go along. You have to find your own path, picking, choosing, and discarding as you see fit. Figure it out yourself and do it. The hardest thing is not doing what you want, it is knowing what you want. You should be authentic. Find the thing you know how to do better than anybody. No one in the world is going to beat you at being you. Find your passion and be the best. You can only achieve mastery in one or two things, and it's usually things that you are obsessed about. Focus on the thing that you are really into. All you should do is what you want to do. Figure out what you're good at and start helping other people. Specific knowledge. Every human should aspire to be knowledgeable about certain things and be paid for that unique knowledge. You should follow your genuine intellectual curiosity. Specific knowledge is found much more by pursuing your innate talents, your genuine curiosity, and your passion. Following your genuine intellectual curiosity is a better foundation for a career than following whatever is making money right now. Apply specific knowledge with leverage, and eventually you will get what you deserve. Find the market. If you want to be wealthy, you want to figure out which one of those things you can provide for society that it does not yet know how to get, but it will want, and providing it is natural to you within your skill set and within your capabilities. You should escape competition through authenticity. Your goal in life is to find the people, business, project, or art that needs you the most. There's something out there just for you. What you don't want to do is build checklists and decision frameworks built on what other people are doing. You're never going to be them. You're never going to be good at being somebody else. Most of life is a search for who and what needs you the most. Build and market something that is an extension of who you are. No one can compete you with that. Productize yourself. Yourself has uniqueness. Productize has leverage. Yourself has accountability. Productize has specific knowledge. Yourself also has specific knowledge. All these two can be combined into these two words. If you're looking towards the long term goal of getting wealthy, you should ask yourself, is this authentic to me? Is it myself that I am projecting? Am I productizing it? Am I scaling it? Am I scaling it with labor or with capital or with code or with media? You should be a maker who makes something interesting people would want. Skills. Become a perpetual learner. Know how to learn anything you want to learn. You want to know how to do something other people don't know how to do at the time period when those skills are in demand. Learn to sell, learn to build. If you can do both, you will be unstoppable. Judgment and accountability. Wisdom is knowing the long term consequences of your actions. Wisdom applied to external problems is judgment. These are highly linked. You must get paid for your judgment. Why? A robot, a laborer, capital, or a computer can do the work. Demonstrated judgment with high accountability and a clear track record is critical. Remember, society will reward you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. Scott Adams said, I don't believe in specific goals. Set up systems, not goals. Use your judgment to figure out what kinds of environments you can thrive in, and then create an environment around you as you're statistically likely to succeed. He's the author of the book on how to fail at almost anything, everything. Independent thinking and mental models. The really smart thinkers are clear thinkers. They understand the basics at a very, very fundamental level. A contrarian reasons independently from the ground up and resists pressure to conform. Optimistic contrarians are the rarest breed. Any belief you took in the package, like a Democrat or a Catholic, is a suspect and should be re-evaluated from base principles. Learning. The means of learning are abundant. It is the desire to learn that is scarce. Real knowledge is intrinsic and it's built from the ground up. If you're a perpetual learning machine, you will never be out of options for how to make money. Why? You can always see what's coming up in society, what the value is, where the demand is, and you can learn to come up to speed. Stay on the bleeding edge of trends and study technology, design, and art. Reading. Reading is the ultimate meta skill and can be traded for anything else. Make sure your foundation is very high quality. The general principles are more likely to be correct. Naval suggests to read originals and the classics. He also suggests reading science, math, and philosophy. He also suggests to read the greats in these areas. Read what you love until you love to read. Leverage and technology. We live in an age of infinite leverage, and the economic rewards for genuine intellectual curiosity have never been higher. Tools and leverage create this disconnection between inputs and outputs. You have to figure out how to scale. If you only build one, that is not enough. You've got to build thousands or hundreds of thousands or even millions or billions of them so everybody can have one. To get rich, you need leverage. Leverage comes in either labor, capital, code, or media. Okay? What is labor? Labor is others working for you. Okay, this is the first form of leverage. It is the oldest form, and it's actually not a great one in the modern world. The second one is money. Money is a good form of leverage. Every time you make a decision, you can multiply it with money. This form of leverage has been the dominant form in the last century. The final form of leverage is brand new. It is the most democratic form. It is products with no marginal cost of replication. This includes books, media, movies, and code. Code is probably the most powerful form of permissionless leverage. All you need is a computer. You don't need anyone's permission. Forget rich versus poor, white collar versus blue. It is now a battle between leveraged and unleveraged. Now you can multiply your efforts without involving other people and without needing money from other people. The internet has massively broadened the possible space of careers, and most people haven't figured this out yet. It is always wise to remember that these new forms of leverage are permissionless. The newest form of leverage is where all the fortunes are made. This is where all the new billionaires come from. For the last generation, fortunes were made by capital. The new generation's fortunes are made through code or media. Look at these examples. Joe Rogan makes $50 to $100 million per year from his podcast. Look at Jeff Bezos, Mark Zuckerberg, Steve Jobs, and Bill Gates. Learn from them. Science and math. Science is the study of truth. Applied science becomes technology. Nature speaks to us through mathematics. Society, business, and money are downstreams of technology, which is itself a downstream of science. Science applied is the engine of humanity. Applied scientists are the most powerful people in the world. This will be more obvious in the coming years. Rational Buddhism. The rational part is reconciling with science and evolution with spiritual philosophy. Naval suggests to try everything, test it for yourself, be skeptical, keep what's useful and discard what is not. Reality and suffering. The very thing clouding us from being able to see reality is we have preconceived notions of the way it should be. What we wish to be true clouds our perception of what is true. Suffering is the moment when we can no longer deny reality. In the moment of suffering, when you're in pain, that is the moment of truth. You can only make progress when you're starting with the truth. Desire. Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. The problem isn't reality. The problem is the desire is colliding with reality. Pick one big desire in your life at any given time to give yourself purpose and motivation. Mind and meditation. Realize that you can observe your mental state. The advantage of meditation is recognizing just how out of control your mind is. Your mind is a muscle. It can be trained and conditioned. Happiness. The most common mistake for humanity is believing they're going to be made happy because of some external circumstance. The fundamental delusion is that something out there, something is out there that will make you happy and fulfilled forever. Remember, happiness is internal. It is a skill you develop and it is a choice you make. Happiness is a state when nothing is missing, when there is silence and contentment. Happiness is what's there when you remove the sense that something is missing in your life. Peace. Real happiness only comes as a side effect of peace. Most of it is going to come from acceptance, not from changing your external environment. Peace and happiness are skills. You can uncondition and recondition yourself. The meaning of life. You have to create your own meaning, which is what it boils down to. You have to decide. This is personal. You have to find your own meaning. Any piece of wisdom anybody else gives you, whether it's Buddha or a person you know, your friend, is going to sound like nonsense. Fundamentally, you have to find it for yourself. You have to self actualize, do what you are meant to do. For a final quote, everything is more beautiful because we are doomed. You will never be lovelier than you are now, and we will never be here again. From Homer to Iliad. Thank you, and I hope we are more knowledgeable today than yesterday. Good day, Birikan brothers. God bless. Thank you.